Flip Devils! J-Dog back to answer more goddamn questions. Questions we're going over today are first goddamn order questions. We got two, goddamn it. As we know, order questions get asked first. So if you want your question answered ahead of time, place a goddamn order at Hell's Headbangers, and in the notes / special instructions section, whichever the fuck you prefer to call it, put it in there because I see them all, goddamn it. If you ever say, "Hey J-Dog, you didn't answer my goddamn question," there's a 5% chance I overlooked it, just because all the cluster and fuss that can happen. But there's a 95% chance I am going to read it and remember it. But there is a slight chance I won't. And then also too, I've skipped a couple because it's ones I've answered 10 million times, or something completely fucking stupid, or not completely stupid, just something else I have nothing to say about. Like somebody's like, "Hey, what do you think about this war metal band I never heard of?" I was like, "Well, I've never heard of them, so don't think anything of them." But the two here we got. First one from Decker Harmon. Need that deicide sticker, brah brah. J-Dog question. I'll get you covered, no problem, brah brah. J-Dog question. Deeds of flesh or scattered remnants? I mean, I thought that was kind of a surprising question. To me, it's no contest because Scattered Remnants only has one record. So even if I liked that more, which I don't, I I would like. There's the first minimally 4 Deeds of Flesh albums I love, and then I do like Mark of the Legion as well, being the fifth one. I don't love Mark of the Legion, but I like it. When it first came out, I didn't like Mark of the Legion. I remember picking it up. I remember I remember talking to Eric Lindbergh, or how the fuck you pronounce his last name? Is that it? Lindbergh. Um, they used to play here quite often. Not quite often, but I've seen them several times in the early 2000s, like 2000, 2001, 2002. Um, and I remember talking to Eric about some of the song titles, specifically about Carnivorous Ways, Born and Torn Apart, because Carnivorous Ways, I knew that was about Albert Fish. Because as you guys know, I've told you before, I like talking about serial killers and shit like that, especially in high school. I did some like reports on them and shit like that. I always found serial killers kind of cool and interesting. Well, I don't know if I call it cool, but interesting. um, but the song, especially Born Then Torn Apart, the second track on Trading Pieces, which is probably my favorite song on the album. That might even be my favorite Deeds of Flesh song, to be completely honest with you. The lyrical content, too, I really liked it because it was just so over the fucking top. And I asked him about, I was like, who was that? I was like, I never heard this serial killer. He's like, so, oh, dude, it was just a one-off. He's like, it was this fucked up chick. She was fucked up on, I forget what drug. Maybe they didn't even release with drugs, and then obviously just kill her own kid. You know what I mean? He's like, so yeah, just obviously just fucked up one-off, so not a serial killer, but he's like, definitely thought it was a brutal topic to write about. So that was what he told me point blank. But I remember when it was just Path of the Weakening was out. That was the album they were current on. Mark of the Legion hadn't come out yet, and it was coming out. There was even posters for it. Forget whatever happened to my goddamn poster. Maybe it's rolled up in my office somewhere because I had it. And I had all the guys sign at the time. There it was basically like they're I don't know if they're selling them or handing them out at a show, but anyways, I got one at a show, had them all sign it as well. But it's for the new album coming out, Mark of the Legion, and I remember specifically asking Eric at that. I was like, "You guys going to do a digipack for it and like a vinyl for it?" It's like vinyl, we'll see. He's like, no digipack this time. He's like, just switch it up. He's like, I wasn't super happy how the digipacks turned out with Path because that's the version I have with the digipack, signed by all them to this day, except maybe not the drummer because they were switching drummers a bunch of the time. Maybe I have it. Maybe I have that drummer, but I don't have the drummer from Inbreeding or Trading. One of them, but I'm missing one of the guys. But I definitely have definitely met those albums are all signed by Jacoby and Eric for sure. Was the drummer on that Joey or some shit? I can't remember. But Mark of Legion, I remember him saying that, and then so I was kind of excited to have my poster signed. God, I wonder what the fuck happened to that goddamn thing. It might have been one of those things with moving all the time. So yeah, just lost it or fucking got ripped to shreds, that type of shit. Or I have a bunch of posters I never hung up because I don't have any room in my home office where I shoot a lot of videos in my goddamn closet with my 7 inches. Maybe it's in there. But years since I've fucking seen it. But I remember when it officially came out, I'm like, fuck. Kind of bored. So this is kind of just like stale and boring. Listened a couple more times, like, yeah, kind of boring. I went back to it about a year later. This is back when it came out, and it kind of grew on me. I was like, it's pretty good. And then, listen to it every few years, like I would. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. And then probably about 6 years ago or so, I put it on again. I was like, this is a good record. I was like, it's not as good as the first four. I was like, but I was like, it's a good album. So even when I was contemplating really much about doing the Hell's vinyl releases, because I was the first one saying it before Osmos and shit got to fucking do this. But I literally talked about doing Deeds of Flesh albums, but I always said the first four because I thought Mark and Legion was kind of boring. I always kept that one out. But out 6-7 years ago, though, when I revisited, I was like, this is a good fucking record. I changed it to the first five I want to put on vinyl. So that's what I was saying at then. But so even to this day, yeah, it's a good record. That's kind of my Deeds of Flesh. So they have much more albums than Scatter Realms. Scatter Realms, to be honest, it's kind of a band I'm not that educated on. All I have is the album on a CDR. I don't even have an official copy. So anybody wants to gift old J Dog, I wouldn't mind a hard copy of that. I don't have any hard copy of any shit. And then I don't even think, because they just have a couple EPs and then demos. They only have one full length. I only know of one full length. Was it from like 98, 99 when that came out? That was one I never picked up. I just got a fucking CDR burn of it. Just like another thing I'd want a hard copy of is Obscenity, Perversion, Mankind. That's the only one I don't own a hard copy of. Well, Intense down, because Obscenity, the album Intense was the last album I liked, which I love me some Obscenity. Nobody talks about them. You think Poser Boy, fucking Josta, Jarva, all them fucking posers over there, you think they know that one? Fuck no. Fucking fuck no. Actually, third chapter, though, I take that back. That wasn't beyond awesome either, but Intense was really good. Human Barbecue's fucking awesome. Suffocated Truth, Perversion Mankind, and the Demoniac CD. Love that shit. Love them. Grew up as a little boy listening to those goddamn things. I was considering the goddamn Deicide of Germany without the anti-Christian satanic lyrics. The lyrics are kind of, I want to say all over the place, but just multi-topics. But Perversion Mankind, that's another one. I only own a goddamn CD of it. Matter of motherfucking fact, I would love to send this out. I seen their, and I sent them an email. No reply, fucking, of course. This is when I was doing this channel. Somebody sent me the Obscenity email. No reply. So if anybody knows Obscenity from Germany, tell them to contact the old goddamn fucking dog. He wants to do Intense down on vinyl. I think it was Vic Records. They reissued Suffocated Truth on CD. So I have the original Suffocated Truth, and I have that reissue too. That actually gave me hope. I'm like, oh, these guys are still around. I didn't even know they were doing anything. I don't even know if they're still around. I have no idea. But I was like, they got a reply from them to do it. But especially Perversion Mankind would be my number one, because the CD, I don't even, like I said, I don't have one myself. I think somebody said somebody's doing a vinyl. I didn't see it come out. So if you know any of the, if it is out, if you know anybody that did vinyls, or somebody beat you to it, J-Dog, that's fine, no problem. Send me a goddamn link to those. And if you want to gift the old goddamn J-Dog, Scattered Remnants original copy CD, and Perversion Mankind by Obscenity CDs, because those are discs that, yeah, ever since I was a kid, I just have CDR burns, never got official copies. I've looked on eBay and Discogs from time to time, but they weren't on there at time. One time, Perversion Mankind was on there, and I think it was like $85. I'm not paying $85 for the CD. I was like, I'll wait till. I was like, I'd probably get a better deal. But it wasn't ones I've actively searched. Just time went by, and to this day, I still don't fucking know them. So Scattered Remnants, I don't know as well as Deeds either. But again, even if I loved the album just as much as Deeds, I'd still go with Deeds because they have more albums than I like. Kind of a long fucking answer for a simple ass fucking question, right? But hey, give you some goddamn Deeds of Flesh fucking stories. In case you happen to give a goddamn fuck. And second customer question. Colin Monor. Sounds kind of fucking, is that a French last name, brah? Sounds kind of French. Question for J-Dog. Is there an album that you didn't like when you first heard it that has grown on you since then? Mine is Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell. To be honest with you, that one still hasn't grown on me that much. I ordered it into the Pandemonium from you guys recently to give it another chance, and it still sucks in my book. Colin. You know, it's funny, as far as Into the Pandemonium, my stance has softened on it since, the interview I did with Athnar on the channel. He played it for, he's like, oh, dude, you probably got scared off. And I was like, dude, I was 14 when I heard it. I don't know. That was the last time I was like, this is homo as hell. And I never went back to it. And he was playing. I was like, oh, this is a good song. He's like, yeah. He's like, they got classic Frost sounding songs, but they got different songs too. It's a mix. I was like, I remember Mexican radio. I was like, shut, this is garbage. He's like, oh, yeah, that song sucks. He's like, but he put out like track 4. So I'm like, oh, yeah, this actually, I was like, this literally sounds like Frost. I was like, this is pretty good. He's like, exactly. He's like, it's not banger from beginning to end. He's like, but it has good songs. I was like, oh, okay. Well, then I stand a little corrected then. And then my Black Sabbath comment too before anybody gets their panties up a bunch. Yeah, I did Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules. I own them, kind of like them, but I don't love them. I thought for the Dio albums, I liked Dehumanizer the most. That album's got filler songs too, but I thought it had some really strong songs. I was a fucking Sabbath Ozzy guy. You know what I mean? Whether you want to call that lame or just a cop out answer or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Although I do actually like Born Again a lot though too. I don't know. Disturbing the Priest, just fantastic song. I don't know. That was an exception, but generally speaking, for me, it was Ozzy. Because when I think Dio, for me, I like like Rainbow Rising, and my favorite thing with Dio singing of all time is Holy Diamond. That to me is a perfect 10. One of the greatest heavy metal records of all motherfucking time, in my book. As far as albums, yeah, I kind of answered that actually kind of recently. The biggest offender, there's others, but the biggest one as a whole was Macabre. I didn't like it at first. Told that story recently, so go watch the past 15 videos and you probably hit it because I told that. I don't even know if I posted it yet, even if it's so recent. I told the Macabre story. It wasn't that long ago, though. So Macabre, and then they really grew on me. They're like one of my favorite bands. I went back and listened in later years some of the later Death albums, like Symbolic, Sounds of Perseverance, stuff like that. Didn't love them, but thought they were better than I remember. And I'm like, these are pretty good metal records. I was like, it's a different band. Um, and it's it's more polished, wimpier metal. I was like, but I was like kind of enjoying some of these songs, so I've drastically softened my stance on that too. So, anyways, next goddamn video live, which I didn't prove it, just looked for the next one I was on, and oh yeah, this should be a goddamn funny one, or at least some fucking stupid shit being said in there. I didn't prove nothing. 259 comments, didn't even scroll the bottom yet. Blood Incantation, what's in my bag? Where's the metal at, Bro Town? If you want to see another bag of no goddamn metal, search Nargal and who's that fucking weirdo as fuck looking motherfucker from Opeth. Not a piece of metal to be found in there. Goddamn fucking just complete fucking crickets in there as far as metal's concerned. Oh, at the bottom, first question mark. Neguardo F. Slur. However the fuck you pronounce that. What do you care what kind of music a guy likes? All right, here we go. First one out the fucking gate. What did I tell you? Dum dum of the dealer, dum dum dealer. The reason this is dumb of the day alert is for two fucking reasons. Just crossed my mind. It's their first goddamn comment, which is not surprising whatsoever. Somebody said this video. I was like, I think I've literally said for sure 2 times, as many as 5 times in the video. I don't care what he likes. I was just explaining why I'm talking about it. Let's be a metal channel, metal topics. People asked me. Just thought I was a little fucking strange, death metal, bang on metal. Specifically said, I don't care. Like multiple times. Over this dum's fucking head. One ear out the other, didn't even hear us. I was like, not only that, another reason you're dumb of the goddamn day. What do you care what another guy likes? I'm asking you the same question. What do you mean, J-Dog? I don't. You're watching me. This is a metal channel, just me talking about metal music. Apparently you care what I like. So what do you care what another man likes, man? What do you care? Same fucking thing, right? Yeah, it's Bro Town. Harry Quinn, J-Dog, ever heard of Sabaton? That shit sucks. I've seen the name coming through Hells. Yes. Never listened to them, though, no. So I'm indifferent. Don't think it sucks. Don't think it's great. Don't have an opinion. But it must not look interesting enough for me to check it out. But I can picture the logo in my head and everything. Cobb 91. Let's get those Destructor LP reissues. Question marks. You know what? I never actually thought about it to do Destructor vinyl represses. Because we've done them and it just didn't cross my mind. But they're probably due for it. Nailed and shit. I mean, it has been some time. That's on a Chasey boy. That's his. I mean, he talks to Glenn and shit. I mean, I don't know about regularly, but he knows Glenn better than I do. Number one, he was the one that was always in contact with the band, and he went to Australia, stayed there for a month. Like this is like a long time ago, like not 20 years ago, but more than 15 years ago, but less than 20 years ago. And I think he stayed a good portion of the time with Glenn. So I mean, I think they're kind of friends. I don't know about besties, but kind of friends. John Stamos, what kind of vehicle do you drive? Probably not as nice of a fucking vehicle as you do. But in case you have to give it a fuck, it's a 2022 Kia Forte. Decompose, J-Dog, what do you think of Corpse Grinder's solo album? I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's kind of like, nothing like, kind of like, I guess, needed in a sense because it's kind of like, he's saying just like Cannibal. Although I'm kind of glad he did that rather than something complete left field. But it was kind of like, just more music we kind of already had that were pretty decent songs. Um, so yeah, kind of liked it, but didn't like love it. Didn't like knock my socks off. Matthew Hamilton. Speaking of one-man death metal bands, I do not think I ever heard you bring up Putrid Pile. What are your thoughts on Putrid Pile? You know what? So I never really officially gave Putrid Pile a good, honest chance. They kind of came off to me as so they were one of the bands that fell into the category that I don't know if they came out. I don't know if they came out during the time when I stopped checking out the brutal shit, or I just saw them later, and it was during the time when I was. Again, I never officially stopped checking out brutal shit. I think that it's just I was more steering away from all the because it's like dude, it's all starting to sound the same. I was like, I heard this again. I told the story multiple times. It was around 2003 to 2005 in there where I really started paying more attention to kind of like old school style bands, and because at that time too they were coming out. That's when I found out about Disaster. So when I found out about Bewitched, Metal Lucifer, Sabat, um, those bands for sure, especially like Toxic Holocaust, because they were just kind of coming out. That's when I was started hearing those bands. So it seems like a lot of more stuff of that style, kind of like 80s, yeah, kind of 80s based, even early 90s based, is what I started paying attention to a little bit more. That's when I heard of Putrid Pile, and I remember if I don't remember what the guy looked like. I remember the member being standoffish looking, not epicardectomony fucking bad, but the equivalent to it as worse I seen at that time. Maybe Lividity bad or something. Oh god, another one of these fucking bozos. And then I was like, it's probably gonna all sound the same. And then I remember my Putrid Pile stories. Putrid Pile story I is when I was calling Rich Lipscomb on the phone. Not often, but whenever we do trades and stuff, I was the one that talked to him on the phone. I would call and set up the trades. Generally speaking, I was always chased and set up trades. But for whatever reason, I don't know, I did with Rich. And I'd call him up on the phone. And then I was also talking to him on the phone a few times too about the Mortician Flesh Grind split vinyl that we did back then. So getting materials, setting up a deal. They both bands wanted a written contract for that. A lot of the stuff's just handshake deal. But they wanted a written contract. I think that was actually the first written contract release we ever did. So a little fun fact for you there, in case you happen to give a goddamn fuck. Um, so I'm talking Rich, and I remember I using the first Putrid Pile or second Putrid Pile or whatever the fucking case was. And I'm thinking it's like, whatever, especially because we're new at this time, right? So, you put 1,000 CDs out, generally speaking, especially when you're new, you do. That's all we did. Um, Most releases that we do at this point too is the first you press 1,000. If it goes well, then you repress it. If it don't, well, take a hike. That's all you get fucking pressed, right? If it's a bigger known release, you might do 2,000 out the gate, but most stuff is 1,000 out the gate, right? So still same goddamn formula, right? So I'm talking to Rich, and obviously he has more experience. But I'm thinking like, I don't know how many people even buy this shit. You know what I mean? As far as Putrid never heard of whatever. And I remember asking him like, so I was like, yeah. So I said, yeah, Putrid Pile coming out. And I was like, so is it? I was like, does that move sell well for you? It's like big. I'm like, what's this guy doing? Big old fucking bite out of an apple. 2,000 in pre-orders, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, you didn't sell no 2,000 discs in pre-orders. Granted, I didn't say that, but that's what the fuck I was thinking. But as I said, I'm like, I kind of thought he was blowing smoke up my ass too. And to be completely honest with you, I still think he was blowing smoke up my ass. Um, because I mean, United Guttural went out of business not that long after. It's like, dude, if you're moving 2,000, put it this way, just to give you an idea, Hells has never moved 2,000 of anything ever in pre-orders ever. So yeah, he's saying he sold 2,000. Well, so what did you tell him? Press another 1,000, 5,000. I'm like, you didn't move that goddamn many Putrid Pile, bro. Now I didn't notice at the time. I thought he was blowing smoke at my ass, and my thought was right because even me just knowing the business, I was like, now he maybe over time moved 2,000. So I was like, you did not sell paid orders in the bank, people buying in advance in the year 2000. Shit, I was probably about 2003. We're talking. Yes, I think I was about 18. 2003, 2004 was about 18, 19 when I was making this phone call. I'm like, there's just no way, dude. You did. There's no fucking way. So that's kind of my Rich Lipscomb Putrid Pile story. And to this day, I never really went back and listened to it, but maybe I should. Andrew Gabriel, J Dog, have you ever met someone with an I'm above metal mentality? I met a few, and they are annoying as fuck. Um, Not really, but kind of. The above metal, I get that vibe for guys that are in the metal scene already. The older guys and kind of fading out, but their excuses I've grown out of, like all this shit sucks or it's immature or like trying to think of an example of a person in my head that who I met, but I know I'm almost positive I have met somebody in that category, but not to the degree of like they're not in the metal scene whatsoever. They never even heard of Cannibal Corpse, and they're saying that. So honestly, when it comes to those people, and again, that doesn't make someone a bad person. They don't listen to any metal. There's people I like quite a bit that they don't even listen to Slayer. Haven't even heard fucking Slayer. No interest in listening to Slayer. I literally don't talk to music about those people. I just flat out don't. As a matter of fact, if I'm at the gym or a setting to where metal's being brought up, a topic of Satanism or atheism or religion in general, I generally kind of try to change the subject. Just like, honestly, I don't even want to talk about this because if they're not in the know, I just don't even want to talk about it. To be completely honest, too, I'm getting that way with anything bodybuilding talk related too. Because the first thing they want to talk about is always fucking steroids. It's the thing they want to ask about. And I'm just like, dude, unless you're in this world, I don't even want to talk to you about it. You're clueless. You're just clueless. And I'm not here to fucking be your daddy and give you that goddamn 4 hour education, which quite frankly, you don't even go to the fucking gym, so you don't give a fuck anyways. So it's like, what am I going to explain? Why fucking you can't understand what you're saying, get those people. I'm not going to sit there and give them the ABCs of why death metal is fucking awesome when you can't understand what they're saying type of thing. And what they're singing about this stuff. So do you agree with this? And they're talking about killing people. Like, if you don't get it, you don't get it. I'm not your fucking daddy. I'm not here to educate you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when it comes, if you're in that, not on that circle, I don't even want to talk to you about it. So I really haven't met anyone that's above metal that's outside because I don't even give them the time of day to talk about it. It's just change the subject, man. I don't want to talk music with you. So I guess I haven't given any the opportunity, but I'm sure they fucking do. I'm sure some fucking canoe walking around in the goddamn suit going to his banking fucking job that he's completely miserable, fucking goddamn gun in his mouth afterwards, basically. I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure he's got something to say like that, but his opinion is completely fucking irrelevant to me on the goddamn topic. I'm going to talk to him about anything. It's going to be about fucking updating my banking shit. And outside that, just get lost, canoe, because I got nothing else to fucking talk to you about. Guys, what's you know what to do? What the guys about to get in the morning? Later, goddamn it.